What if the secret to success wasn't just talent or hard work, but unshakable confidence? Welcome to Grasp Confidence, the podcast where visionary thought leaders, speakers, and entrepreneurs unlock the mindset and strategies for lasting success. I'm your host, Tara LaFon Gooch, CEO, two-time best-selling author, and international TEDx speaker, and I can't wait to help you step into the most powerful version of yourself. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome to Grasp Confidence Podcast. I'm your host, Tara LaFon Gooch. Today's guest is Valeriya Hjertenaes, a dynamic thought leader and advocate at the forefront of innovation, inclusion, and sustainable leadership. Valeriya holds a master's degree in finance, knowledge management, and innovation management. She's probably one of the smartest people I know, really.
Oh my God.
He's currently pursuing a PhD at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, and her groundbreaking research explores diversity management and industrial sustainable projects with a focus on gender, cultural, and neurodiversity. Through global interviews and practical frameworks, Valeriya helps organizations elevate their sustainability by embedding real, effective diversity strategies. As an OCD neurodivergent leader herself, she's also a passionate mental health advocate. This episode is a must listen for anyone ready to lead with more awareness, innovation, and impact. Let's get into it. Valeriya, welcome to the show, my friend.
Oh my God, my friend, now you made me really feeling so special. Thank you so much for invitation, for hosting me today, and for giving me this spectacular introduction. I almost felt the goosebumps when you gave me this magnific title, one of the most smartest. Thank you so much. I still appreciate that opportunity, how we could elaborate deeply, you and me, during me hosting you in my show. And from the very first second, we could align our vibrations, energy. And I'm sure that by this conversation number, just still the beginning of the friendship, we can make more ripple effect. So thank you so much for being today with us. I hope you can get knowledgeable insights and always very important, also a lot of fun, because we do still have so much used to have fun while we are joined to all our activity, right? Being present and have nice mood. So thank you. I'm looking forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I didn't say in your intro that you're one of the most beautiful women I know too. So, she's got it all. She's a podcast host. She's getting her PhD. She reads books constantly. She's gorgeous. Like, when I think of you, I think of somebody that really has it together. Somebody that is checking all the boxes of what we want for, in life and what we shoot for in success. So, this show is really geared toward gaining confidence, becoming the best version of yourself, personal development, becoming a high achieving leader. These are aspirational goals for a lot of people, and you have really figured out how to achieve the levels of success that a lot of people are searching for. Now, you're originally from the Ukraine, and now you live in Norway. Hopefully, you'll make it to the States eventually.
Absolutely.
But what an incredible life and adventure. I would love for you to take us back a little bit in time, because we know what you're working on today. But I would love for you to just take us back a little bit to when you first got started. Why was, you're pursuing all of these degrees and this PhD. Why was this important to you to pursue?
Thank you so much again for giving so many credits. First of all, it can already describe me. I do hope as really diversified person, which I'm making empirical and theoretical research of. But of course, by making a deep research, you have to be so genuinely interested in diversity and diversity of thoughts, of actions, and you should present really diversified personality yourself, which I believe all my life. I've been really interested in many different traditions of thoughts, of attitudes, of let's say ethnical background and cultures and religions. Um, if we go really backwards, where I was made in Soviet, as I'm calling sometimes, like make it a little bit funny. It was, of course, like everybody uh, could experience in their childhood ups and downs. My childhood was really impacted by some adversities, um, which made really deep impact on me, on my personality, because it was actually influenced more by scarcity than abundance. And it was not that much focus in Soviet era to put focus on yourself or on your interest in order or personal growth, or actually everything what was connected with individuality was eliminated. You had to just serve the system. It was the purpose to be the bricks of this big system, but you should not be really like, um, shown off and to persevere your goals or your dreams. And it was never talk about actually you being different and to be interested in something different. So you should be equal, but not like equal. You should have equal rights, but you should not put your nose out of the crowd. You should be like everybody else. And also when I was a kid, my father, he was addicted to alcohol, and I do believe still, I feel very pity that it's a disease. It's this disease actually injured so many men in Soviet after the Second World War, and many other political and economical situation, which put probably mostly our men in very difficult situations. So I never was really judging, because I was never actually in his shoes. I can be just in my shoes, and I can just kind of imagine why it was so hard. Maybe it was his way to tackle, to cope with the demons he had at that time. Anyway, I'm trying to be grateful for him being him and being participating, producing me and giving all this experience to me, because without even that, I would never be who I am today. And we are going to talk more elaborate about the feeling of gratitude, right? And our gratitude to our past, not just who we are and who we actually never ending masterpiece uh, who is building by ourselves today. So, but anyway, even being in Soviet system, being in a school where everybody kind of the same, have the same uniform, should have the same values, goals, and just should be taught by system what you are allowed to aspire, just to be useful bricks in somebody big system. So for me, I was quite of maybe rebellion already at that time. I always wanted more, and kind of not just wanted more for myself, but I saw already very early in my age that my mom, she was struggling and suffering from the situation she was put in due to divorce and very hard economical situation. So I started even then helping her very much from the young age by being active. First of all, to do my commitments very thoughtfully. I was a very good student, but I also wanted to help her, and I began working like from 12, 13 years very much. And I tried to be very attentive of what kind of person she was even there, because maybe the economical situation was not that you could envy. That's for sure. But my mom, she always had enough time, attention, love, and care to me, and time to speak and reflect. And she always taught me from the very young age that yes, maybe today we don't have that much of materialistic things, which actually can be earned, can be uh, given away, taken away from you very easily. Like now, you mentioned already I'm from Ukraine, and we know, as not many other people, like in real life, that you can collect materialistic thing all your life, and now for 5 minutes, how it has happened with my family, because we live in Kherson, it's the first territory, Crimea. All the things we have been collecting by a very hard job the whole life, they are bombed away, they are taken away 5 minutes, that you have nothing. But what you really really can cultivate, practice through your life, in your heart, in your soul, in your head, nobody can take it from you, right? Especially hope and gratitude. So my mom, she was like that. Even from I remember her, she always tried to point out for me this mentality of gratitude. And like Valeria, she had very nice motto that by taking you can feel your hands, by giving you can feel your heart. So try all the time your life, be the person who would like to feel, to fulfill your heart, not your hands.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this mindset, which of course was already different from probably many others, or I don't know, maybe I was more than them, kind of focused on that. What can I do? Also, how can I be helpful to my mom, first of all, and to the community and to the people who were surrounding me, and actually not just them. And then you had to think differently. So this mindset about be a giver without actually expecting to get something back immediately, that because then it's not generously, then it's not being grateful, helpful, then it's pure business, which is also okay, but then we are talking about another domain, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, this mindset, and my mom being a great role model for me, because she also she was not always just talking, she was talking and being a role model and acting like that, because we know I'm parent myself now, and you're a parent, and we know that kids, we can talk, we can tell them whatever they want, but they will be copying exactly what we are doing. And if there is no matching, it's mismatching, so then it's not eligible, right? Then we and my mom, she was like that. She taught me something, and every single day, even especially in small details, he showed me how to treat people, how to handle situation, how approach this life, and I'm very very grateful to her for this.
Wow.
So I was trying to take you a little bit backwards, and it was probably the most impactful um aspect which influenced me and my young age. And then the university, the first degree which I took in Ukraine. Um, every single day I walked by special orphanage, because we didn't have that much money for actually collective transport. I tried to save money, and I was walking like 2 and 3, not miles, but kilometers every day to the gymnasium first. And I passed by a special orphanage. It was still, it was already not Soviet, but very early after Soviet, was still the same standards. And I could watch every single day, twice, those special babies. It was special orphanage for sick babies from 0 until 3 years. And it was so sad, depressive picture. Like everything was gray and asphalted, no colors, no toys. All of them, they just had the same outfits, garments, which shabby and worn and used. And many of them, like, it was so, I still remember these pictures, And one day I was staying there staring at them, and understood that, okay, I probably have nothing much to left over from what I can do at that time. and maybe I need still help, but one day I will be working hardly, studying hardly, achieving my goals, and I have to be back. I have to make real impact, and first of all, to becoming myself, and hopefully not forgetting all these habits and traditions and norms my mom taught me, and will be back to my small city, coming back to this orphanage and do something really special. I wanted to help like economically and develop this place, but also I decided that time that I need to do something more. I need to save at least a couple of destinies that they're not going through what I was going through.
Wow. That's
And
a lot. That's a lot to unpack there, and just for everybody who's listening. So you grew up in the Ukraine. Father was an alcoholic, mother was struggling to get by. Everybody was uniform, the same. It wasn't encouraged to have goals or dreams. Everybody was kind of just the same, right? And you didn't want to stand out, and you couldn't really stand out. And almost feels like, when I'm saying this, it feels like suffocating, like you're being put in a box. And then it sounds like a lot of, depression kind of level circumstances. You're talking about this orphanage in the village, children not being given opportunities, and you saw this with your eyes. And you were living in these circumstances, but you're such a star, and I have to say that, right? So it must not have been easy, but I love what you said too about that your mother instilled gratitude in you, and that when you take, you feed your hands, but when you give, you feed your heart. That is really, really powerful, and something that we can all learn from, regardless of, our circumstances or the environment that we're in. We all have this opportunity to find gratitude and to give, because, I've realized that in my own life, there's always someone else who's more in need than you are. Always. And if we just look around and be observant, we can find people that have more of a need than us and really uplift them. So, what a story. Really impactful. But like I said, you are such a star. So, with this war in Ukraine that has happened, you left the Ukraine, you now live in Norway, and now you've gotten all of these degrees and you're pursuing more. I would love for you to tell us a little bit about why you made that shift and transition and decided that you wanted to be more and wanted more out of life, because it's really easy to stay where you are. It's really easy to not move forward. It's really easy to be like your environment. What's not easy is to break away from the mold and become the person that you really want to be. How did you do that?
thank you so much. What a great question. And first of all, what a great summarizing and a reflection. And again, very grateful for your compliments. You are such a star as well, and I know that already. And I knew that from the very first time we could even chat without talking. I knew that from the very first minute. So thank you so much. Yeah, that's correct. Uh, Maybe for somebody it's much easier to be already in the box, because you know, sometimes people actually suffer from many choices. To have no choices, it's quite different for
Mm.
people who want to achieve something special in their life. But sometimes it's kind of easy scheme, like, okay, you have this path, this scheme, you can just go there, kind of linear from step to step,
Mhm.
which from one place could be my life, and it was the life uh, my mom had to leave, but she also broke through. She came from a very small village as well, where actually we have a big family there. The whole family, they are still there. And just my mom, she was kind of rebellious. She wanted something more for her, to give more possibility for her and for next generations. But usually, yes, you have to take choices, and then if choices are challenging, you have so many responsibilities and commitments how you should care and bear and carry those choices, right? So for me, like I've already mentioned, maybe it was all the time the role model of my mom. But again, it's about your own choice, even to choose the role model, your mom or your father, right? Because I could also stuck in the situation of feeling pity to myself, towards myself, and could the whole life just judge, oh, and return back to the roots that, oh, due to my childhood and because my father was like that, I am like that today. But we know, you and me, we have discussed that it has been influencing and impacting, like, of course, this trauma, I mean, and the pattern how I approach different situations many, many years. But still, I knew that I had to break through. I didn't know that much mechanism. I was in the search maybe the whole life before I found really gratitude and mindfulness, awareness, and Buddhist more philosophy, finding foundation in gratitude, and then develop confidence. Like you have brilliantly delivered your TED talk. You're such a role model and my inspiration now. I'm so blessed to the God that you, after now I'm uh, done with PhD, I will be back and you cannot get rid of me, because I'm so proud to announce you are my TED mentor. Oh my God, I'm so, so proud. I'm really, really blessed that God loves me and give me such blessings, such gifts. I mean, persons like you into my life. But if we are talking back about my aspiration, and again about commitments and taking responsibility, when we are grown ups, there are always two ways: or search the explanation. I don't know who can be guilty in your life, and many, unfortunately, I don't know, poor souls, grown up persons, they kind of stuck in this pettiness for themselves. And they are always coming back to maybe a country or system or parents or close circumstances that it was so many years during maybe even teenager years, and when we really evolve and develop. But again, if we're talking about that, yes, of course, it is the kind of ground for how we evolve and develop ourselves. But maybe at that time we could not change much because we didn't know how, and we didn't have many choices, and basically it was scareful for us because we were kids or maybe teenagers, right? And we were dependable on the situation and grown up persons. But now we can do that because now it's us who take the decision every single day how to approach every single decision, right? And we have to be responsible those grown up persons who we are today, right?
Yeah.
So it was the interview between twins. It's two brothers, probably, I don't know, maybe I have mentioned during our podcast, but anyway, I can repeat this story a little bit, that it was twins, two sons, and they were interviewed, and the same interviewer asked first one twin brother, because he has achieved so much in business and has created beautiful family, career, and community engagements, helped so many people, and on philanthropical domains as well. And he was asked why, actually, what was the motive and inspiration. He said, yes, because the role model of the family, he has an experienced father was alcoholic and it was a lot of abuse. He never wanted to be as the father, and his main goal was to create, first of all, family, very strong family, to protect his own kids and also to help so much the community and society, that other kids who are other people should not experience the same pain. And then it was the twin brother. He has unfortunately lost a lot. He also became addicted to alcohol, and he couldn't create the family, and of course nothing really achievable in the career. And it was the same question to him from the interview, why he became like that. And he said, yes, due to the childhood and his father, because father was like that, and it was abusive childhood, and it was the role model. And then of course, who else who could be he like has mentioned, right? But again, like you and me, we know we have been on those ways. We have experienced the same childhood, right? And we could, you and me, also choose the path, just feeling so much pain, pity, and just to proceed that it's kind of also dharma. It's like then generational pain further and further, right? Because then we already carry the stamp of being role model for you, for your daughter, me for my kids, right? And they can watch us and believe, oh, but life is like that. It's actually the pattern how we should become or I don't know, approach and deal every single day.
Oh,
But for me,
yeah.
when I saw those kids, somehow I don't know, I saw and I understood that there are two ways, like staring them at the orphanage and feeling that it's so completely hopelessness. Oh, they are also, or just to choose. Oh, they sometimes even somebody have worse, and then feel kind of better myself. I am at least not in the orphanage, but I felt like, oh my God, somebody really need help, and they even are in worse situation than myself. But if I have something bad, at least freedom, at least my mom, at least I'm studying, I can work, I can do that and that and that, and then come and help, right? And then one day how it shifted, but I understood very much perseverance and commitment and discipline. Nothing is happening by the magical result for one day. It's not. I do believe in magic and fairy tales, of course, but I know dreams don't work until you don't work, right? You have to
Ooh.
do it every single day, little bit, little steps, little steps, little steps. And sometimes it's not linear as well. It's like this. And
Oh,
especially when I got my first OCD, very severe episode, and I had no idea it was OCD, because it was a long, long way before I got this diagnosis. Because again, I'm made in Soviet. For us, it was taboo. It was stigmatization, even to put into your mind that you can have mental problems, because just always it starts from yourself, how you talk to yourself, right? Then you should be in silence, and suddenly you should talk to your voice and hear that I'm not well. And what actually is happening to me? First of all, it's so scary to acknowledge to yourself that you are not okay, because the whole system all the time say it's a shame, it's a taboo to be not okay. That you have diabetes, okay, it's not okay, or you have broken your leg, or you have heart disease. Of course, it's painful and you are afraid, but it's not so that related and connected with your um like, self-esteem and what kind of person you are, right? Especially in my country, still now it's better in Ukraine, of course, but at that time, even it was 15 years ago, even in Ukraine, even for me, I didn't know how, first of all, to talk to myself, that I felt that I had some mental problems. And it took many, many months. I could open after actually being okay with, yes, I do have it, to talk to even my mother or the people like really close to me, right? And then to get the reaction from them, and then to get help. I really
wow.
was aware that I need help. I needed help. I'm not okay.
Wow.
So, I mean, all the time from our childhood towards today, you and me, we have discussed that really it's actually about responsible choices. And the whole your beautiful talk, it's actually choices not just towards how you are today or tomorrow, just some, like, selectively um episodes or actions, or can it's a holistic approach. You have to admit that everything what has built, created, molded you yesterday, 10 years ago, today, and tomorrow it's the same person. And you have then probably to find the new shift, the new way of approaching the whole your life. If it didn't work, you understood there is something wrong, and I'm not happy. I'm depressed, and I've been there really in black hole of my life, so close to self-suicidal attempts, and really intrusive thought that's so scary. I've been all these ways, right? So you understand that there's something wrong, and not just 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You have to deal with it, and you have to find a new way to cope. And I'm so grateful that as you have beautiful found also the way. Just look at you, such amazing start to even 2.5 years ago, and look at you, the person again you have been in now, but it's the same person. I love the idea that you are worshiping the holistic gratitude foundation for who you are becoming every single moment, even when
Thank
I'm
you.
cooking now, because I said you're my teacher in every now interactions. I'm trying to approach, it's my learning, it's my lesson. I'm grateful for every single interaction, and I'm always open to learn, even through the, I don't know, constructive, I don't even call it criticism. It's still learning. It's the whole way now of knowledge I can acquire and use them, instead of before it was because I was suffering from so self low esteem. So anyway, anything people could like reflect, elaborate with me, I always took so personally. And it was always like, attacked in me, like I'm not good enough. It was all the time, especially when I got mental problems, right? So you feel like you want to hide from the whole society. You feel so much ashamed. You're not good enough. You are not worthy. Everybody much better than you. And also for me was like that, okay, of course, because actually it should be with the person like me because of this childhood, and you kind of start and believe that you're really worth this pain, because all this good life, it's not for you, it's for all the people, but not for you. You are not good enough. You actually don't deserve this good life, right?
You and I are like sisters separated on different continents. It is incredible, truly. This is why I created the grass method. So you hit on it exactly right. You first have to find the gratitude in any situation that you're in, right? And then you have to take responsibility. And you use that word a bunch of times. It's about responsibility for the choices that you make. But then you also said that it's an incremental thing. You need to take action and you need to be consistent at it. And then beyond that, it's a visualization of the outcome that you want. Who is that person that you want to become? And stepping into that person gradually through good choices every single day, and all the time having gratitude and letting that be your anchor. And then you're living proof that at the end of this rainbow, you can find your purpose and align with it. And it doesn't matter for anybody that's listening. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter what you've been through. Val and I have had similar upbringings to a certain extent, similar life experiences. And despite what the outside looked like, what was on the inside was insecurity, was a profound lack of self-confidence, low sense of self-worth, diminished view of ourselves where we wanted to hide from people, right? So, and this is important because a lot of people will look at you on the outside and say, that's not possible. How could she have low confidence? Or people will look at me and say the same thing. But the reality is that confidence is a learned skill that we develop over time. And honestly, it's really crucial to start with that foundation of gratitude, and starting with the past, having great gratitude for your past experiences and what made you you, because you're so right. there are other people that have had it worse than us, right? And I do believe that at any point in time, there's somebody that would trade places with any of us in a minute. And there's so much to be grateful for right there. And that's why I say to look around and find people who are in need. Sometimes people just need a word of encouragement. Sometimes people just need to be told, hey, you're really special. That idea that you had was really interesting. I like that. Or, you know what? You're so smart. Or just anything. Because I do believe this. Some people have never had a fan. Somebody have never had somebody believe in them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can be that change in that person's life, to be their biggest fan when nobody else is counting on them, especially themselves, you might just change that person's life. So powerful. It is so powerful because, there's so many women, that are listening to this podcast right now, and men, right? Because we know that according to Psychology Today, this is something I said in my TEDx talk, 85% of the world's global population suffers from low self-esteem. Doesn't matter what you look like, what you've been through. Most of the world has this issue. And there's people that are saying, you know what, I resonate with that, but it's really hard. It's really hard. I feel stuck. I don't know what to do next. Do you have a good piece of advice? Maybe it's just one piece of advice for somebody that feels where you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever that was, when you felt like you were at your lowest point. Do you have some advice for that person?
What a beautiful reflection again. Thank you so much. And I think it's crucial. It's so important question. And we cannot deny that this actually can make so great ripple effect, because healing, it's a process, it's a practice. Healing doesn't happen during one day, night, even 1 month, even not sometimes just during 1 year. But healing stories, we are talking, discussing role models, actions, encouragements, motivations, support, and being a fan by persons like you and me are very contagious. And healing's process happens in not linear, in ways. We have to first of all talk about practice. That's why meditation, healing, it it's somehow called not perfection, not action, it's practice. Meditating practice, gratitude practice, right? Because it's like a muscle.
Yeah.
More often you practice it, it becomes stronger and stronger. So for me, first of all, person never ever should give up. It's true, because we are so complicated. We live in so fast-paced, complicated world. We are bombarded by so many different sources of information, and especially social media, that are unfortunately give 95% special visual content platform like Instagram, unfortunately not authentical pictures. It's curated, filtered, masked lives and extended of other persons. We automatically compare ourselves, which actually are not true. Why it should be like that? Why then before posting one picture, we take hundreds of them? Because we are choosing, right, the perfect one. And why then we post when we always, I don't know, makeup, pampered, smiled, whatever? Is it life like that? I'm always now trying to even reflect with my teenager girls, right? Because there are so many traps everywhere for person who really struggle with self-esteem. And the first is actually comparison, right? Comparing with other person.
Yeah.
And like you and me have been talking before we start practicing gratitude. First, maybe in the morning was taking the phone and start like scrolling, and then you already signed the worst contract for your being for the whole day, because there is always somebody who look like have all this perfect life, which you probably also believe that, oh, if I was the person like that, I would never experience that pain which I'm experiencing now.
Yeah.
But there's so no true. You can watch my Instagram now, somebody's Instagram now. I'm even joke with my kids. Do you know the person on Instagram and your mom? Is this the same person? No, right? Because there is like almost, at least even I try to be open actually, and there are says about my OCD and all that. But anyway, we our brain, like, 3 seconds visual content, we just eat it and immediately make all these fake scenarios. So what I would probably give the advice to start somewhere and never give up, because healing process, you can always, from the point from maybe you believe lowest point in your life now, it always then already just to wake up, to evolve, to develop, to feel better. Then it's, there are so many ways, which is actually different kind of tools which really can help to the specific person, right? But I mean, perseverance, that if you try it 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, even 1 week, it doesn't help, like affirmations or practicing gratitude or meditation. Yes, it doesn't, but discipline, but even that you have decided to do something for yourself, and you have decided to be disciplined and committed to yourself, can grow you self-esteem and self-confidence, because self-confidence also is based on self-trust. And if you practice self-trust just by single action, let's do like you have agreement, or you make promise to yourself that this day you would, it can be so small, tiny things, but by these bricks, right, by puzzles, we are building self-confidence. Let's start with self-trust. Just easy, okay? Tomorrow or today, I make agreement with myself that I will be acting or doing this thing. And you do that. And you do next day and the day after.
Oh
I
my
can take it
God.
from you, because it's how you're building bit a bit self trust and
Oh
self-trust.
my
This
gosh.
is amazing foundation for self confidence, right?
Oh, amen to
If you
that.
put in this
Yes.
menu, in this ingredient, also being being already grateful for actually your commitment, for you have promised to yourself, you have done that, right? You every single day start building this self-trust, and of course you can totally legitimately be grateful to yourself for all these actions, right?
Oh my
So
gosh. Yes. Yes. Yes.
grateful,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So then it's, yes, it may be first day you're like, oh, this is ridiculous, like this is so, but okay, but you do that,
You do
second
it.
day, third day, for and 1 week, and then suddenly 1 week you understand 7 times you have proved to yourself your self-trust, and you be grateful for that, right? And gratitude always grounds you, but self-trust and esteem, it's the place where it can start by being like more and more self-trust, more and more like strong. It can start confidently move you towards the new person, and that no one can take it from you, right? Because you actually do it with yourself, your commitment and your self-trust, and it's quiet. And if actually you are building and building that, practicing by, if you just maybe put like small note here, like self-trust muscle, right? And every single day it can be like, okay, every morning I can wake up and heal sunrise, and just because you promised yourself, maybe it's fun, it's ridiculous, what, but you promised yourself, and now oh my god, I promised myself next time I will do. This is my this is my relationship with myself, because this is the most important relationship you can build with ourselves, right?
This is how we found each other, because like attracts like. It really
Mhm.
is. I preach about this. Honor the commitments to yourself, honor commitments that you make to other people. I've seen it time and time and time again. It's the little things. If you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to email you, email them. Just do it. If you tell somebody, I'm going to leave a review for their whatever it is, do it. If you tell yourself, I'm going to work out today, do it. And every time you tell yourself you're going to do something and then you do it, it is achieving a goal that you have set. And goals are addictive. Let that be your dopamine, not social media scrolling, but let your dopamine come from hitting a small goal, even if it's hitting the gym, watching the sunset and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this. Uh, Honoring a friend and showing your friend support and love, or another business, or starting something. If you say you're going to write a book, every single day, commit to doing it. And if you do this, you're going to crush every single goal that you have. And you know what else? You're going to become unstoppably confident, because it's something that you own, and you're, keeping this commitment to yourself and others. I think that is so powerful. I do want to leave us with something before you tell everybody where the best places to find you at are, because I know everybody's going to want to connect with you because you're such an inspiration
Thank you so, so much.
on our podcast. So when I was on your podcast,
Uh-huh.
you asked me such a cool question at the end.
Exactly. You met my vice president.
Yeah.
My vice president. Oh my God, she is the best ever. Which she's so committed, because she is always doing what actually she promises.
Yes.
Nobody can beat that. Like, even from Aladdin play, I have a little bit sustainable version, just one wish, because we want to save the whole humankind. But yes, of course.
Yeah.
And I remember it's so cool about wisdom, right? Because you've been the same person the second day with the same wish. Yes.
Yeah. You asked me on your podcast, you said, if you had one wish, what would it be? And I thought about it for a moment, and I said, well, King Solomon asked for wisdom, so I'm going to ask for the same thing. So I would love to turn the tables on you a little bit and ask you the same question you asked me. If you could have one wish, and there's a lot, what would it be?
Amazing. Then I actually can probably be the continuation of Sid in King Solomon, and everybody knows we actually were joking, you and me, because I showed my manifestation reminder, because I'm working a lot with my hands. I do love gardening. It's my meditation. Of course, when I'm typing PhD, but also I do a lot of pictures with pearls, like it was before cross stitching pictures, but now I'm using the small pearls and pearl stitching. And then I'm using a lot my fingers. And our brain, it scans all the time when you are watching. And that's why I made last year, after a big retreat, and I became also professional mindfulness, Kriya yoga, and meditation instructor. So I decided to make even more manifestation. And here on my 4 tattoos, this is Namaste. This is breathing. Of course, everything starts from breathing. What we are doing first in our breathe, and second and last. And everything, of course, you shall act and approach with love. This awakening, enlightening, like from Buddha. And this is from King Solomon. It's everything shall pass, right? And you know that he was such a wise, he was such a gem, because first of all, when you can hear like, oh, everything shall pass, yes, okay, so what? So, but this is the beauty, Asian beauty, which actually, when I'm watching, of course, then every single day when I wash in my hands, this manifestation, and then I understand, and it's for me also, it's back to gratitude, right? So because actually everything shall pass. It means whether you are really down now, it's this dark, this infinite hole which kind of soothes you, and you don't see that much light forward in the tunnel. So then the best probably hope, the best message you can get and put into your mind, that everything shall pass, everything, even this
Everything.
scarcity and this pain, especially now in Ukraine when I'm talking, supporting a lot of my friends. They are serving my country. They, especially my city, they don't want to leave. They could leave many, many times, but they're especially staying there to for the hope to give next generation Ukrainian and the whole liberty and democratic generation for in our world. So everything shall pass. Even they try to remember that. And the whole every medal has two sides, right? And when you experience also this magical butterflies period in your life, which I'm actually wishing your audience and my listeners, of course, we would like them to be more often. But then again, sometimes we should still be reminded that everything shall pass, even those beautiful butterflies in stomach periods shall pass it well. But then you can feel double, triple, 10 times more gratitude at that moment that you experience them, right?
That's right. That's right.
That's my wish, that every single person can maybe also have some small, I don't know, because here where I'm sitting now, like small notes, you can see like details, okay, from my kids, or it's from orphanage when I adopted kids, or small details which manifestation, right? So before it was here also everything shall pass, but now I have in my hands, on my fingers. So maybe the one wish I would wrap up today, that person, or even like King Solomon, then immediately will be never connection, never new trial to everything shall pass, and wisdom you have shared. So it would be my my wish for our listeners today, that please never give up. Really, if you have that pain, reach out to me, reach out to Tara, reach out to many of my friends. Now they're also in support system of mine, because they know I'm still OCD neurodivergent. I'm still very dependable on, like we are, unfortunately, of external terms, and I'm still experience war, especially in my city. So I have that system, and now I'm so happy that you are my friend. That I'm sure that one day, if I'm not like that, I have no maybe that much energy even to put some lipstick, I can always call you in my peers that are, I need to talk to you. I need now you to be my muscle strength and supportive. I'm struggling now. It's not like I'm healed and I'm healed, like I'm said. It's like this, right?
Yeah.
Always to know that and relate to us that we all human, we have ups and downs, but everything shall pass.
Everything shall pass. I love that. Where are the best places to connect with you online, my friend?
Yes, there are some platforms which I'm more active now. Before actually leaving the PhD, maybe I will be more focused after that. Please welcome to find Diversity is the Game Changer podcast. It's on YouTube, and I started downloading some on Spotify. I have to be more disciplined. I have to put it to my self trust, which I preach, and do that. But yes, YouTube, then LinkedIn, then it's Valeriya Hjertenaes. It's actually where you and me have met each other.
Yep.
Yes, and Instagram, it's the same, Valeriya Hjertenaes. There are also some links to my podcast, Diversity is the Game Changer. And to Tara, if you somehow forget, please reach out to Tara. We now also in another community together. We already exchanging our community. We also already exchanging our friends. So somehow we always be happy to help. Right, Tara?
That's right. I love that. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure interviewing you today. And thank you so much for being a guest. Thank you for everyone who tuned into this episode of Grasp Confidence Podcast, guys. My big takeaway is this: it doesn't matter where you came from. All that matters is that you believe where you are going. And anybody can achieve that. We all have that power and inner capacity. It starts with gratitude and keeping commitments and promises to yourself. Guys, I will catch you on the next episode. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share this with your audiences, and leave a review on Apple or Spotify. We will catch you on the next episode. Take care.